Welcome to the PFD Performance YouTube channel. Pretty friggin' deadly.
Well, it wasn't the battery that got us this time, it was the SD card. So you would have missed me finishing off polishing this. I didn't quite get every bit of that little nick out because it was just feeling like too much material, and it's super subtle, and realistically this should never touch the bearing. I did a bunch of reading on it, and there's mixed stuff about, you know, nicks and crankshaft journals and stuff. But yeah, ultimately, I think bearing clearance was worth a little bit more than this super tiny nick that's also parallel to the bearing. Like if it was across the bearing, I might have been a little bit more worried, but ultimately it's like in line with the rotation. So I'm hoping. There could be a video in 6 months, 2 months, a year or 2 years from now, where this very moment could come back to haunt me. But I'm just gonna hope it doesn't. So I think that mostly does it for crankshaft stuff. I gave all the journals just a quick polish. I just had this tiny little microfiber rag there and a little bit of metal polish. Just buffed her up just because it's out, may as well. So next step is to get the bearings and the main seal in, and I'm gonna leave you for 30 seconds because I'm just remembering my mind 5 minutes ago thought about maybe checking the bearing clearance by measuring the bearing in the clamped journal, and I'm just not sure. I need to double check my tools. We'll be back. So I figured we've got an inside mic. We've got an outside mic. Maybe it makes sense to just double check, and I'll just really hope not to dick up the bearing. And I'll be very ginger. And I'll probably even just go in a little bit looser and not get too crazy sticking it around a bunch of different ways. So I'm just going to pop the front main cap. That's the only one I really messed with. I looked at the original build sheet and it was 35 thou of clearance, and I guess we'll see what it is now. So I'll get this torqued up, and then we'll bring you in a little closer and see what we're doing. All right, got my little mic, and I have a pretty good idea where to start. Should be right around 2.75 and just a little bit more. I'm just gonna get a dab of assembly lube for some sliption, because the absolute last thing I want to do is dick up the brand new bearing. Sticky stuff. Plus, I'm going to need to use it on this pretty soon anyway. So, why not now? All right. Now, right, well, it definitely doesn't look like I'm making any marks in this, so that's a bonus. So this seems like a very true 2.75. And then this that I was measuring with yesterday, I can tell you right now, this is definitely bigger than this. Now, according to this, I should have, just thinking here, it looks like 2.75. That's 2.5 thousandths, smaller than 2.75, which just doesn't quite add up to the amount of clearance that I've been expecting. Just gonna double check the build sheet again. Got it saved on the old pocket computer. Just gotta scroll back to that time I saved that. Let's see, where are you? Where are you? Should be coming up here soon. This is probably gonna get cut, and I can understand why. Here we go. 00350036003600380037. So actually maybe this makes sense, because if this is about 2.5, and I'm certainly not perfect at this. I'm gonna try one more time. Yes, that's about 2. And this is, so that for sure fits. So that's a thou more than 2.7, a thou under 2.75. Or sorry, let me correct that. It's a thou over 2.75, and if I just go 1.5 thou over. Now, I don't want to get crazy here, but I think ultimately maybe I shaved off a 10 thou, 0001. Didn't get too crazy. I'm not seeing anything on this that shows me there's a ton of like clearance, like it's not excessive, like I'm not at 4 thou. So like, I think that's a win. I also don't have 100% the technique here, so I don't trust my numbers perfectly, but I'm not noticing anything crazy. Maybe I could get some plastic gauge and double check, but I think I'm just gonna send it, and I'm glad I checked. Peace of mind. New skill unlocked, found. Come at me for all your machine work. Anyway, I'm gonna rip this main cap back off, get the bottom bearings set in all nice, get them hit with some assembly lube, and get after it. Well, the crankshaft is in. It's a really nice feeling to be back on the assembly instead of disassembly. So I didn't torque these yet. I need to get just a little bit more lube for torquing, and I'm tired and it's late. So at least the crankshaft is in, and it's just gonna need a little bit of torquing, and then we'll be on to all the rest of the stuff, like, you know, camshaft and, you know, pistons and all the rest of the goodies. And I should hopefully have an order about this time next week, where I can show you some of the goodies that we bought that kind of tie into what we're doing here. But I think that's gonna do it for tonight. We'll catch you when I'm back out here doing the stuff.